Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be learning Rashi on Parashat Vayera, and we'll see something fascinating that Rashi does. What seems to be a simple midrash that he's quoting is really something that involves a lot of commentary on the full pedic of the story in the Parasha. We're all familiar with the story of Abraham and the Malachim coming to visit him, and eventually, towards the end of the story, Abraham prays to Hashem to not destroy the people of Sidon. If we look at the Pesukim, we see a little bit of a problem. The parasha opens up, Vayera alav Adonai be'elunei Mamre. Hashem appears to him at the plains of Mamre. V'hu yoshev petach ha'ohel k'chom hayom. He's sitting in his tent in the heat of the day. What does Hashem tell him? It doesn't say. Instead, we see Pasuk Bet. Vayisai einav. He lifts his eyes, Vayad, and he sees V'nei shalosha anashim l'savim alav, the three people standing upon him. Vayad, Sukatam petach ha'ohel v'yishtachu arza. He goes, he greets them. Vayomad Adonai, my masters, in plural. Apparently not in the name of Hashem if he's speaking to these angels. Im nasati han be'enecha not ta'avun ma'alavdecha, please don't leave. And then we know the famous story of his hachnasat u'brahim. Later on in the Perek, Pasuk Kaf Bet, it says, "Vayifnu misham anashim elchu Sedom," and they go to Sedom, they leave. Avraham ordenu omed lifnei Adonai, and Avraham is still standing in front of Hashem. So it's very odd because we have in the beginning Hashem appears to him, nothing happens. It gets interrupted from Pasuk Bet till Pasuk Kaf Aleph for 20 Pasukim about the three visitors that Avraham Avinu has. And Pasuk Kaf Bet they leave, and it says Avraham is still standing in front of Hashem, seemingly connecting us back to Pasuk Aleph, which is very confusing. So first, and I'm going to tell you Lufi HaPeshat, how the Rashbam explains the Pesukim, and it has its advantages and disadvantages. Keep in mind that Rashbam is Rashi's grandson. He sees Rashi, he speaks to Rashi in his lifetime. So we'll see, based on the explanation of Rashbam, which Rashi may have heard, may have even suggested, may have learned from him. Either way, it definitely stands to reason Rashi probably could have reached some formal conclusion himself, and ask ourselves the question, why is he rejecting this? The Rashbam reads Pasuk Aleph as an introduction. Vayera alav Hashem be'elunei Mamre. Hashem appeared to him in Elunei Mamre. How did Hashem appear to him? Pasuk Bet. Vayisai einav v'yad v'nei shalosha anashim savim alav. Hashem appeared to him through descending these three angels. These three angels are the methodology through which Hashem is appearing to Avraham. Sometimes Hashem appears to people in a dream. Sometimes he sends angels. Okay, let's leave outside for now when Hashem is sending angels. Is that also in a dream? According to Rambam, it still is in a dream. But this is how Hashem appears to Abraham, says the Rashbam. Three angels coming is God's messengers coming to Abraham. And they tell Abraham what they need to tell him. And then they go and he told Adonai, recognizing that they're angels of God, and therefore he's treating them as if he's speaking to God. And then what happens? Says the Rashbam, how many of the three angels go to Sidon? We know only two. With the third one, Avraham ordenu omed lifnei Adonai. The third malach is still standing there in Abraham's presence. Abraham is standing in front of him, and when Abraham is having his dialogue with Hashem about the destruction of Sidon, he is speaking to the third angel that didn't leave. And then Vayelech Avraham Vayelech Hashem. Hashem leaves at the end of the parasha, the last pasuk of the Perek. Hashem leaves. Vayelech Hashem Kasher Kilal Deberu Avraham. Once Abraham speaks, that third angel goes. That's how the Rashbam is trying to make sense of the Pesukim. A little bit odd set of Pesukim, but the Rashbam is coming and trying to make the most sense of it that's possible. Comes Rashi, and he has a completely different explanation. And he says like this, Vayera alav Hashem levakir et ha'holeh. Amar b'chama bar Hanina, Yom Shalishi lemilato haya. It's the third day of Brit Milah. Ba Kadosh Baruch Hu v'sha'al b'shlomo. Hashem is coming to see Abraham is doing to visit the sick. This is where we learn Hachasat Haim. This is Bikur Holim, visiting the sick. This is probably a famous midrash that we all probably heard at one point or another. God comes to visit the sick. He comes to visit Abraham Avinu. But we have to realize that Rashi is not trying to bring a nice midrash here. Rashi is deeply bothered by the Pesukim. And there's 2 points the Mefarshim, the commentaries on Rashi, bring up what Rashi is bothered with. Number one, the point we opened up with, Vayera alav Hashem belonim amrei, and then all of a sudden, Vehine shalosha Hashem. So what did Hashem tell him? What did Hashem want? So comes to Hashem, says Hashem doesn't want to tell him something right now. He just wants to visit him, see how he's doing. And this continues. Therefore, when Abraham Avinu goes to the Malachim, and he says, says Rashi, he's actually speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Davar ahed, Kodeshu. Adonai is not reference to the Malachim, it's a reference to Hashem. Vayam Melech HaKadosh Baruch Hu is coming to visit him and not saying anything. They're just sitting there together as friends. Please, Hashem, wait. Let me go and bring the word Haim. And therefore, that's how she reads the text of the Parasha, that Hashem comes to appear to him to visit the sick. The sub-commentary on Rashi, the Ben Uliyam, it's in also says, Vayera alav Hashem. It sounds like it's a continuation of the previous story. It doesn't say Vayera Hashem alav Abraham as if we don't know what we're talking about. Vayera alav to him. So it's based on the previous story of the Brit Milah. And therefore, Hashem comes to Abraham after the Brit Milah. And it makes sense in that sense that now Abraham is worthy of receiving the Shekhinah after Hashem appears to him. What's fascinating now, and I think this is what's bothering Rashi, is when we go back to that pasuk that Vayifnu Misham Ha'anashim Va'Abraham Odenu Amed Lifnei Hashem. That Rashbam struggles with this. He has to say only 2 out of the 3 left, and the 3rd angel were calling Hashem. And I think this is something that Rashi categorically rejected. It says Vayifnu Misham Ha'anashim, but it doesn't say 2 out of the 3. And all of a sudden it's Abraham Odenu Amed Lifnei Hashem. You're calling the 3rd one Hashem. The fact that you could call an angel as if it's speaking to God, and therefore Rashi says no. Abraham Odenu Amed Lifnei Hashem. He's still standing in front of God, the God who came in Pasuk Aleph to visit him. And what Rashi actually says, Abraham is not standing in front of Hashem. Hashem came to visit Abraham, and he says, okay, it's derech kavod of Hashem. We don't want to put it that way, to protect the honor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore we said Abraham is standing in front of God. Really, God is standing in front of Abraham to come visit him. And therefore Rashi explains, when it says in the Pesukim, it wasn't automatic that Hashem was going to reveal to Abraham about the Sedom. Hashem Amar Hamchaseh Anima. Abraham seems to be, as he was visiting, he said, you know what, let me tell him about Sedom. Whereas according to Rashbam, that 3rd angel, that was his original message to tell Abraham about Sedom. So therefore, I think Rashi understands very well the pshat of the text, but refuses to accept that the word Hashem, Abraham, Hashem is a reference to one of the 3 people, especially the inconsistency. First, in the same pasuk, you're calling them Anashim, and then you're calling them Hashem, and therefore introduces this concept that Hashem is coming to visit Abraham separately. It's not the revelation of the 3 angels. So here's a little detail in the depth of how deep Rashi is when he says a simple thing that we like a nice midrash. We teach our children lessons that Hashem is Bala V'Keret HaHoleh. We have to realize that there's a deep textual interpretation hiding behind that as well. Have a good day.